So here we have a periodic table. I don't know if you can see this very well. And I just want to show on this periodic table some of the patterns I talked about before, just as a review. Woo! As you go this direction, so we're going from left to right in the periodic table, we increase the electronegativity. So now in science, there's a few, well in science there's a lot of different, woo! Science is really like learning a new language, really. A lot of vocabulary words are new. But for this, it's important to use shorthand when you're taking notes. So some words that are used over and over and over again in science are like increase, decrease. So when you take notes, we're going to just use symbols. Like I'm going to use symbols on the whiteboard for increase, decrease. Increase is going to be an arrow pointing up. Common symbol used just to demonstrate increase. Decrease then would be an arrow pointing down. Okay, so I'm just going to write shorthand for some of this. So as we go from left to right, the electronegativity increases. So electronegativity increases as you go from left to right. Electronegativity, remember, is that ability of atoms to hold on to their electrons. All right, the ability of the atoms to attract and hold on to electrons. That's their electronegativity. Remember, because think of electrons, electronegativity. Electrons are negative. So if it has high electronegativity, it's attracting the electrons to itself. If it has low, it's not attracting, it's losing them. Okay, so as we go this way, we increase electronegativity. As we go up, now this is, in this case, this arrow doesn't mean increase. I'm drawing it on the, we also increase electronegativity. So as we go up through these periods on the periodic table, we are increasing electronegativity. So looking at this can explain a lot, really. Like oxygen is up here. Very, very electronegative atom. It wants all those electrons to itself. It's like selfish. And this leads to some characteristics of water. Remember, water is H2O. So it really, electronegativity means the atom's ability to attract and hold electrons to itself. Now, if we think about metals and nonmetals, woo! Metals don't want to hold on to their electrons. They want to let them go. They let it all hang out. They let them loose. Remember, metalheads? Electrons are going to fly out. All those electrons flying away. They're free. So, as we increase the electronegativity, we decrease the metallic characteristic. So, in other words, so as we go this direction, from right to left, we have more metallic. So going from, so it becomes more like a metal. So it's going to give up its electrons. It's going to be an excellent conductor of electricity and heat. Woo! So these are really opposite. Electronegativity, metallicness, the metalheads, metallica over here. Free. Think of the, sure, this is actually for Francium, but think of it, they're free spirit. They're going to give up their electrons. Another thing, as you go down through the periods, remember, you're increasing energy levels. So when you're doing that, think about it. If you're increasing energy levels, they have more, woo! They have more electrons. They have more electrons. If they have more energy levels, they're going to have more electrons. Because that's where the electrons are, the energy levels. So if they have more electrons, then they're going to also have more protons. because protons and electrons are going to equal in a neutral atom. So protons, remember, are in the nucleus. So actually, the size of the atom will increase because you're going to have more protons. Remember, protons are most of the mass, protons and neutrons are most of the mass of the atom. So size increases also. So this is just, these are just some patterns you can see in a periodic table. So again, these are the groups, columns going up and down. These are the periods. All right, the periodic table is awesome. Woo! Woo! Remember those metals. They're free spirits. They like to lose their electrons, but they're good conductors of electricity because the electrons are going to be moving. These metal heads over here, Metallica fan club, they are going to lose their electrons easily. You know, they do this like they bang heaven. Electrons are going. All right? Losing them. Free spirits. Francium, metals. When they lose their electrons, then, those electrons conduct electricity. That's where electricity comes from. So we need these metals. They're good conductors of heat and electricity. So metals, non-metals, metalloids, woo! Rock on, rock stars, woo!